day 22 of the Trump Republican shutdown of the federal government, and Republicans have shown zero interest or capacity to reopen the government, enact a spending agreement that meets the needs of the American people, or address the healthcare crisis that Republicans have created. And the healthcare crisis is growing in intensity and urgency all across the country. We now have visibility into 13 different states, including most recently Florida, Virginia, Maryland, and Georgia. And all across those states, millions of Americans are going to experience dramatic increases in their health care premiums, co-pays, and deductibles, as is the case with everyday Americans all across the country. In Florida, by way of example, 58-year-old in Panama City, Florida, single on the silver plan, currently receives ACA tax credits, pays for health insurance $140.80 a month. Because Republicans have decided to allow the Affordable Care Act tax credits to expire, that same individual who's currently paying $140.80 per month, their costs will go up to $1,526 per month. Republicans did that because of their refusal to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. In Florida, a 46-year-old with 3 children in Santa Rosa, we now know this family, currently on the bronze plan, actually, as a result of the tax credits that they receive, does not have to pay any additional amount to receive their health insurance. But if the Affordable Care Act tax credits are allowed to expire, that same family, 46-year-old with 3 children, Santa Rosa, Florida, will have to pay $2,360 per month. That is north of $25,000 per year. Unaffordable, impossible, unsustainable, and it will result in that family having to go without the ability to see a doctor when their children get sick. The Republican health care crisis grows worse by the day, and yet Republicans remain on vacation for the 4th consecutive week. Donald Trump is once again preparing to fly out of the country. The East Wing of the White House is being demolished so that Donald Trump can construct a ballroom where he will be celebrated like a king. And at the same time, Trump is trying to rob taxpayers of $230 million to continue to line his pockets. And yet Republicans have zero interest, none, in addressing the health care crisis that they've created, is devastating people all across the country. It's now my honor to yield to the distinguished whip, Katherine.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leader, and good afternoon, everyone. We are so grateful to you for your courageous leadership and grateful that you are safe and secure. Republicans have controlled Washington for 275 days, and we are 22 days into this shutdown. And through all the chaos, there has been one constant, one theme at the heart of their budget and their shutdown and their health care crisis. They seek out and target the most selfless and the least privileged Americans. They always go after those who have already had to sacrifice. Americans working a second job to keep their kids fed. Americans who have chosen to serve in uniform or as civil servants. Americans who are caring full-time for their loved ones. It's working parents on Medicaid. It's sick children who need home care. It's veterans who rely on the Affordable Care Act. Those are the people that Republicans expect to get by with less. It's never the billionaires, it's never corporations, it's certainly never themselves. Because what does Donald Trump expect for himself? What do you see him talking about when you turn on the news? A luxury plane, a gold-plated office, a new ballroom, and now a literal monument to himself. All as 1 million children are about to be kicked off of Medicaid. Another million will see their family premiums double or even triple. And Republicans are complaining about the Peace Prize that Trump didn't get, about camera angles and escalators, acting like somehow they are the victims, while they victimize the most innocent and vulnerable people, hard-working Americans. Republicans choose to go on vacation. That's not an option for the American people. The bills come due, no matter how hard they work. So our message to the Republicans remain the same. Come to work, come to DC, sit down with us, negotiate, end this healthcare crisis, and end this shutdown. And now it is my great pleasure to yield to our caucus chairman, Pete Aguilar.
Thank you, Whip Clark. Thank you, Leader Jeffries. Before I talked about the shutdown in healthcare, I did want to touch on the terrifying threat that Leader Jeffries by someone convicted from January 6th. As a member of the January 6th committee, we deposed, we interviewed a number of individuals who were summoned here to the Capitol that day. And to see Donald Trump pardon 1,500 individuals, what did you think was going to happen? These are individuals who had violent criminality in their past, and we have seen that carry forward now. And this is what happens when you release violent felons. By the way, some of them in their past had issues as child molesters and crimes against children, and we're putting these people back across the country. Following the recent horrific acts of political violence on people of both parties, we should do everything in our power to lower the temperature and keep our communities safe. And that's why I was disturbed by Whip Emmer's comments, in particular when talking about individuals who went to rallies, essentially calling American supporters of the Democratic Party supporters of terrorism. That rhetoric at the highest levels in this building and across our government isn't just untrue, it's dangerous. It poses a threat to our political leaders, and that needs to stop. On the shutdown, for more than a month, Republicans have been on vacation while hardworking families are left to ask, what's next for me? What's next for my family? How will we afford health care? How can we pay our bills? And it's unacceptable that Speaker Johnson has had us in session since they passed the One Big Ugly Law. 20 days, I think, since then. Over 100 days have lapsed in the calendar, and we have been in session about 20. This is shocking. Then it's unacceptable that, and the American people see this, they can't show up for work 20 days over 3.5 months. I expect to get paid. They're using this time to hide from their responsibilities. To carry, they have chosen to carry forward unpopular health care policies. Even when Republicans like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Kevin Kiley, Beth Van Dyne have all said that Republicans should be in D.C. working. And even Leader Thune says it's time for House Republicans to consider coming back into session. The American people are smart. They know who will make their lives better. They know who is looking out for their costs and who wants to lower the costs that they face. And they know Republicans who control the White House, the House, and the Senate have the power to undo the damage that they've caused with this healthcare crisis. Democrats aren't giving up. If anything, we're more motivated and focused on our work ahead to protect Americans' healthcare. It's time for Speaker Johnson and House Republicans to join Democrats in finding a solution to reopen government and address this healthcare crisis that they've created. The American people are waiting. Leader Jeffries.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Katherine. Questions?
Has Speaker Johnson reached out to you at all since the January 6er made a threat on your life?
No.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. At this point, do you think a new CR is needed past that November 21st date? And if so, what would be an acceptable end date? And would it have to be paired with some type of vote on an ACA extension?
What we need to occur right now is what Democrats have maintained from the very beginning. At this point, we need to reopen the government. We need to enact a spending bill that actually meets the needs of the American people in terms of their health, their safety, and their economic well-being, particularly in terms of driving down the high cost of living, while at the same time decisively addressing the Republican healthcare crisis that grows graver by the day. Our position over the last several weeks has remained consistent. Cancel the cuts, lower the cost, save healthcare.